Week 6, day 3 is all about menstrual cycles. Now, for those that don't have a menstrual cycle, it's totally okay. You can still watch this and it's going to be fantastic for you. Here's why. If you don't have a menstrual cycle, or if you have an irregular period or whatever it is, focus on day 1 of your period being new moon, okay? Trust me, stick to that. I'm going to get more into it, but please keep watching. For those that still do have your menstrual cycle, and whether you have cramps or you have headaches or whatever it is, watch week 6, day 2 again, go through that a little bit, listen a little bit more to elimination diet, or get a book called The Paleo Cure. It's an amazing book that talks about the elimination diet a lot more in detail, and it'll give you the whole thing. Again, not a specialist, at least not yet. I'll probably do that in the future, but not right now. Okay, so why menstrual cycle? I mentioned the importance of your body in alignment, right? Aligned Action Academy, but we are females and we have the best cycle within our own friggin' body. Okay, yes, I said friggin', I don't want to curse at the moment. So we have the best cycle in our body. Now we could listen to the seasons and the moon cycles and the whole thing. And when you don't have a menstrual cycle anymore, listening to the moon cycle is going to be your second best bet. But if you have a menstrual cycle, it's the first and best bet that you are going to be aligned completely with your energy, with your action steps, with everything, okay? Personally, I started getting into this because of a book called Wild Power, and now I've been listening to a book called Women Code, and I'm like devouring it. Like I'm on my second or third or something. I don't even know how many times I've read it and like reread every chapter because there's so much information into it. It is fantastic. When you start to learn, oh, you know what? Before I get into like this whole speech, right? And just like get into the worksheets here. So aligned menstrual cycle is about this natural rhythm that is inside us, right? And the only way to tap into it is to really get to know it and love it deeply. A lot of us, I'm like menstrual cycle periods, and people are like, oh, don't talk about that, right? Especially men. But luckily, my boyfriend, he's heard me talk about this enough times that he's cool with it and actually talks to other females about it. Like, okay, what day are you on? Just want to know, right? So know that it's totally possible. Okay, so being aligned with your menstrual cycle means you're going to have further connection to yourself, tons more of self-love. Yes, not kidding. You're going to love your body image a lot more as well. It's going to let you let go of control and understand that you don't have to be like Superwoman all day, every day. It's going to bring you more energy long term. It's going to keep you feedback on your habits and different things that you're working on. You're going to end up avoiding burnout and stress by doing this. You're going to get less cramps by doing this too. You're going to connect to the universe. Okay, this one I have to pause on. The menstrual cycle is inside of you, yes. But when I started to really learn about menstrual cycles and I already knew about moon cycles, what ended up happening was because of the energies are so aligned and aligning both of them together, and I'm doing like karate chops over here, what ended up happening was now, on average, my day 1 new moon, when the new moon comes up, I also got my period. You know how females tend to connect, and as soon as like they fall in love with each other and they become besties, what tends to happen? Our menstrual cycles tend to happen around the same time period. Now, when you align with the moon cycle, the same thing can happen. And that's why, personally, I'm like, moon cycle is a goddess, in my opinion. Like, it's a she, because I connect with the moon cycle literally, like, periodly, period, right? So that's how I say connect to the universe. When you really get into this, it's going to bring you more creativity. Menstrual cycle has to do with your sexual energy and your creative energy. When you can tap into your menstrual cycle, you're going to be able to tap into both sexual and creative energy. They're very tied and like it's balanced, okay? You can't really have one without the other. So understand yourself better, definitely. If you know what's happening through your body, if you're knowing what kind of hormones are taking over, with your progesterone levels are lower, your estrogen levels are higher, how to get rid of estrogen, extra estrogen levels by eating X amount of foods, you're going to have a whole different lifestyle, okay? Giving yourself more compassion, yeah, definitely. Being able to know, like, excuse me, my energy is low, or I probably shouldn't go out because, you know, I'm more introvert at the moment and I need the energy right now. You're going to end up knowing yourself more. It goes back to that self-love and that little battery that we talked about. It allows you to see your true power and potential. We are freaking goddesses, okay? And it isn't until personally that I started learning about menstrual cycles and finding out how freaking awesome my own body is and what it does subconsciously. It's crazy. But when you can start to mix subconscious with conscious and you're aware of what's happening and you can start to kind of control it in a way and become best friends with it and hold its hand and love it, things change, okay? So your menstrual cycle, there's 4 phases: menstruation, pre-ovulation, ovulation, and premenstruation. So I talked about the seasons, winter, spring, summer, and fall, like very little during the intro, but these are seasons as well. That is something you can align with. These are your inner seasons, okay? Now, I want you to be aware that when you're menstruating, I said that for the ones that are not bleeding at the moment, your menstruation is your new moon, okay? So your ovulation, your inner summer, is your full moon. And you're going to notice that they're going to align very well together when you put the worksheets together. You're going to be like, oh, okay, new moon is about start, renewal, cleansing, setting intentions. This one's about relaxating, big ideas pop up randomly, visionary time period. You're going to end up having divine downloads very often during your menstruation time if you're aligned to it, right? And it's about 3 to 7 days. New moon is about 3.5 days, okay? So they align pretty well together. Your pre-ovulation is going to end up being your waxing time period, okay? So waxing time period is a little bit more action. You're getting more active and you're getting more extroverted. Same thing is happening here. Your energy starts to go outward and you will start to get in this go, go, go mode the closer you are to ovulation, okay? You're going to initiate, you're going to take action on these big ideas. During ovulation mode, you're a complete superwoman. You feel like you can handle the world. You're on top of the world. You're on top of that mountain and you can get anything done, okay? And the same thing happens when you're in full moon. What's going to end up happening? You're going to celebrate your wins. You're going to have strong action steps. You're going to be on top of the world, and you're going to be able to check and re-evaluate your goals and see what you can do differently and how you can move it forward. Growth and abundance, perfect for ovulation time. And then premenstruation is aligned to your waning phases, okay? So this is about finishing, completing, releasing, and getting ready for the new moon again. Same thing is happening through premenstruation. You're going to start going more introverted, kind of like we talked about here. You go from outward focus to inner. Same thing is going to happen during ovulation, or through premenstruation, I apologize. Premenstruation. You're going to be getting more inner. You got to manage your energy a little bit better, getting ready for menstruation. You complete whatever is happening, and your instincts are completely on fire. Premenstruation, your inner critic is going to be popping up a little bit more, so be aware of that as well. Similar, again, to the waiting phases. Pretty cool, right? So whether you have your menstrual cycle or not, the reason I want you to see this is because you can still follow it like side by side, right? Side by side. And when you can start becoming besties with both your moon cycle and that goddess energy with yourself and your own goddess energy, you can really start to like new moon, menstruation happening the same time period, okay? It's fantastic. Now, notice that it's great to work with your business. Same thing with the moon cycle, right? I just told you again when to set your intentions, create new goals, how to move forward with it, when to reevaluate your goals, and when to complete it as much as possible so you can move forward and start again, right? So it's perfect for business. Now, continuing forward, this one is better on business than in general, the menstrual cycles. By the way, you like my little viewers over here? I think it's so cute. Now we're going to talk a little bit about what kind of foods you should eat. And this is more with week 6, day 2. I gave you like this whole shopping list of ideas that I wanted you to focus on. And now I'm going to talk a little bit more about what foods to eat during each one so that you balance out your hormones and that your energy levels are the best they can possibly be during each cycle, okay? I'm not going to get into it because I truly mess it up all the time. Again, not an expert, but I just know my stuff. So your hormones change consistently. There's like 5 hormones during your menstrual cycle that go up and down depending on like what cycle you're on, what piece of the inner season you're in. So to be able to balance them out better and for you to have the best energy possible, this is what's recommended. I got this from Women Code, right? So this is like not my own work, definitely not, but it's Elisa Vitti. She is like an expert in this. I have never seen someone give me so much amazing information. And I ended up looking up her and 2 other people that I will not mention at the moment that have to do with like PCOS and menstrual cycles too. I'm like getting into this a lot, right? And this is what they recommend to do. So during menstruation, you're going to focus on proteins, fats, and low glycemic index veggies and fruits. So I gave you some examples like beets, kale, kelp, mushrooms, and seafood, right? Pre-ovulation is more about sprouted and fermented foods. Think about it like your menstruation is gone. Like menstruation is like you have a seed and it's like getting into soil and you're watering it like crazy. Pre-ovulation is now it's becoming a little seedling, right? Haha, seedling. Spring. And what you want to do is have more like kimchi, kombucha, and sauerkrauts, fermented foods, lean proteins, as lean as you can get, and seeds are really good for this time period too. So any kind of seeds or nuts in particular, it's great for this time period. Artichoke, broccoli, carrot, parsley, green peas, string beans, and zucchini are some examples for you to eat here as well during pre-ovulation. During ovulation, we're really going to focus on like our estrogen levels are probably like really, or our testosterone levels are really high during ovulation. So we got to like balance that with some estrogen level over here. So I'm going to focus on raw fruits and veggies. You want to, if you have grains, stick to light grains like quinoa during ovulation time periods. And you want to have things like asparagus, Brussels sprouts, chard, escarole, scallions, and spinach. Notice again that the shopping list that I gave you girls in day 2, a lot of these are on there for a reason. Now you get to figure out like, okay, well, this week when I go shopping, I'll get more of this. This week when I go shopping, I'll get more of this. So literally I have like a little auto ship program on Thrive Market, which I can totally send to you girls if you girls ask me to. And you get like 25% off your first order. It's amazing. Gets sent to your house like right there. Awesome. And the best thing that you can do is auto ship these little things or use Prime Now or Instacart or whatever you've got to get it shipped to your house with these specific items, right? And then this is what you focus on eating throughout that time period, right? And pre-menstruation is focused on roasted and baked root veggies and leafy greens. Foods rich in B vitamins. Notice I said foods, not pills, okay? Just a heads up, when you have a lot of B12 vitamins, but you don't have, I forgot what other one Yusuf would know it. I think it's K vitamins. A lot of times the B12 won't go in your body as much. It'll just like flow right through you. So I'll look it up, and if you ask me, I'll definitely give you the specific information as well. But the extras that you should be eating around here is like cauliflower, collard greens, daikons, onions, parsnips, radishes, squash, and sweet potatoes. Now I want to mention something. When I first looked at this list, I was like, I don't really have beets. I don't really have string beans. I don't really have scallions often. I don't even know what radishes are, right? So what I ended up doing was I ended up playing with it and literally Googling some of this. What kind of recipes can I do with some of these? And honestly, I'm like in love with everything that's on this list now because I've made it in a yummy way. So just because you haven't had it before or you weren't a fan of it when you were a kid, do yourself a favor. Like, and I'm mentioning the broccoli. Yes, broccoli. Not a huge fan before, but now I can make it in like a yummy way. So just try it out in different ways and see how you can make it yummy so that you can get some of those vitamins, minerals, and, you know, really get your hormone levels on point, okay? And have a happy uterus. You want the happy uterus, okay? Now, exercise. There are specific exercises that are going to give you the best oomph during your energy levels. You don't want to be doing like, HIIT, the HIIT workouts, like during your menstruation. You're going to die. No, like not die, but like it's not going to feel good, right? So during menstruation, you want to keep it to like stretching, balancing exercises, some yoga, some Tai Chi. You want to keep it low. You're going to do like chores around the house, light walking, foam rolling, right? Just keep it low energy, but you're still moving, right? And this is going to help your, hormone levels stay around, but keep it moving. Your pre-ovulation, that you're already becoming a little bit more extroverted. So you want to do like cardio, some dance workouts, some Zumba, some toning, some cycling, right? All these little things. You want to go outdoors more. And outdoors is like, I love going outdoors in general. I think everyone should do it all the time. You don't do it enough. But during pre-ovulation, it's going to be a good time period. Ovulation, you want to do like 10-minute workouts. You want to do intense workouts. So this is like those like HIIT boot camp, like really into it workouts that you want to do during ovulation. And then for pre-menstruation, you're going to start going a little bit more inners, right? So you want to focus on yoga for stress release and weight loss, maybe doing some Kegels, some Pilates, and getting ready for menstruation. So this is just like a small thing for you to keep practicing and doing different things and testing it out and seeing what you think about it. And then I also gave you girls some extra tips. Like, for example, I use Flow or Clue. Now I even use an extra app that's called MyFlow that's made by Lisa VT, the woman code girl. I'm going to try to show you girls. It's that one. Okay. So MyFlow, it's like $1.99 on Apple. I don't know how much it is. I think it's also on Samsung. It's my favorite now versus Flow or Clue, but Flow or Clue are both free. So you can do that. Here are some extra tips for you. I always like to give you girls extra tips for alignment because I think it's important and it keeps you moving. Okay. So just test it out, right? Maybe you took some notes on this and you're like, maybe I could have this specific food and do these specific exercises this week. One thing's for sure, you won't get bored if you do this, right? And if you are in alignment and you do feel better after just even a month of doing this, and for the next, 2 weeks, by the end of week 8, maybe you're like, oh my God, this is the one thing that changed my life, right? You never know until you try, okay? So do me a favor. I know this is a little out there for some of you, but for the ones that it's not, go for it. For the ones that it is, go for it anyways. You never know what can change your life until you give it a shot, okay? I'm just asking for a shot. 2 weeks, give it a shot, right? And if you have no idea where you are in your menstrual cycle right now, I'm pretty sure I just read some of your minds. Look at when was the last time your period was, take a guess, or maybe just feel inner, like what's happening. Ask yourself what's happening, okay? So I love you girls dearly, and we'll talk soon. Mwah.